With PoliticIt.com here in Mississippi with Thomas Cramer, who's running for Senate. How are you doing today, Thomas?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Thank you very much, Thomas. So tell us, what is the big difference between you and your competitors in this race?
Well, I'm the only candidate running with the Constitution as my platform. All right, the others running have all taken effort to shred the Constitution to some degree. My point is to get our government back inside the Constitution.
And you've served in the military, is that correct?
That's correct, yes. I had a 20-year naval career. I was a combat veteran of Vietnam and had a very exciting time as interior communications electrician, gas turbine specialist, master training specialist. So got around the world pretty well too.
And how has this helped prepare you for this position?
Well, for one thing, I'm very familiar with the people of the Middle East. I had quite a relationship with them, both at instructor training school. We had Iranian students, Iraqi students, Saudi Arabian, all in class at the time, as a matter of fact, when the Iranian assault on our embassy occurred, and we had to actually move the people out of our class. So I'm familiar with them at that level. I've also had an opportunity to visit in Pakistan with the head judge of the Pakistani courts at the time, so I got a good feel for the Pakistani situation at the same time. So that was a big part of helping prepare me, as well as my military background. I understand the importance of our national defense.
And what issues are you concerned about in this race, Thomas?
My major thing is getting us back inside the Constitution. The violation of our 10 Bill of Rights amendments is what got me into this race. I'm not a professional politician, all right? This is my first run. And as my first run, it's only because our Constitution is being shredded. And the people we have in Washington at this time are not helping us. They are actually hurting us. So my big thing is let's get back inside the Constitution. And I feel if we get back inside the Constitution, especially with our spending, we will find that our economy comes right back into line, because we are spending the majority of our revenue on what I call unconstitutional spending. These are the things that are called entitlement programs, which are mandated spending, which there's nothing in the Constitution that authorizes to be spent. The things that the Constitution authorizes for operating government is actually only a small portion of our spending. Right now, if we wiped out everything that is spent on government, we would still be in deficit spending situation, and you can't get ahead like that.
What about military spending?
Military spending is being drastically cut due to the sequestration that's going on, and that's the wrong place to be cutting. That is one of the constitutional items that our government is supposed to be spending on. And instead, that's the one that's getting cut the most. So we have to stop that. Let's get the cuts where they belong. I've already identified 60 agencies in government that we don't need, period. And the services of those agencies should either be in private hands or in the hands of another department. So we could cut a lot of spending that way.
And when you're out talking to people, what kind of social issues are Mississippians concerned about?
Social issues, the biggest one is immigration. We have, as a matter of fact, today there's supposed to be a meeting in regard to the immigration policies of Mississippi to try to adopt something closer to what Arizona has. We like immigrants, legal immigrants. And there's some part of illegal that our government does not seem to understand. It's illegal to come into the country without permission. Plain and simple. And our current administration is not only ignoring it, but assisting it with giving green cards retroactively to people. That doesn't work. That doesn't help the legal immigrants who wish to come into this country, who could actually be of some help to us. Instead, we have the illegals coming in, and what do? They immediately qualify for welfare. That is the biggest problem we have right now. That's our biggest concern socially. Of course, unemployment is a big issue. And unemployment is being affected largely by the illegal immigrants. So we can wrap a lot of it right around that. Again, we're getting outside of the Constitution.
How do we solve this unemployment problem that we have?
First of all, we stop flooding the market with artificial money. This fiat currency that is produced by our Fed. What it has right now is it has the country so uncertain about what's going to happen, businesses cannot plan for growth. They can only plan for cuts. The tax situation, that's a big thing. We have to get out of this punitive and discriminatory tax system we're in now. We have to get back to what was originally prescribed by the Constitution. So, fixing the tax situation and reducing government size by cutting the unnecessary agencies, as well as beginning a transition away from the entitlement programs into privatized systems, is what it's going to take in order to turn this economy around. I think then we'll find the economy is really going to take off. It's been dead for so long now. This is one of the longest running recessions we've ever had. And so if we can get it back where people can count on what's going to happen from day to day, they don't have to worry about, okay, at the first of the year, is our taxes going to go up? So we get into that situation, we can get the economy turned around, and unemployment will go right through the floor.
In regards to fiat money, do you think we should get rid of the Federal Reserve, audit them, go to a gold standard?
As a matter of fact, yes, we do need to get rid of the Federal Reserve, but it's not going to be an overnight situation. We have to first do as Ron Paul suggested and get us a good audit so we know what's going on. The problem, one of the big problems is the American people do not understand what the Federal Reserve is doing. Now, since the Federal Reserve was brought in 1913, our economy has steadily gone socialist. And it's because the Federal Reserve is funding things that they should not be funding. That's the job of the United States Treasury. That's the job of the United States Congress. Congress has been giving up its powers. We have to get back from that. And when we do that, we start with an audit of the Federal Reserve so we can see where we stand. Because right now, the last report I read, it looks like we actually have a true debt of about $122 trillion. And that's because of the Federal Reserve's spending outside of our normal economic flow.
Let's pause right here.
All right.
We've got about 110 seconds left
110
on
seconds?
this card.
Okay. We could wrap her up.
All right.
I'm going to give you a chance to let voters go out and find more information about you. So I'll say, where can people go out and find more information about you?
Okay, 2 minutes left. Go ahead.
Okay. What are Mississippians talking about in regards to presidential candidates? Are they happy with the selection they have?
Absolutely not. It's one more time when people are having to hold their noses and take the lesser of two evils, right? At least in the senatorial candidates, they have a chance to take a candidate of choice and not just vote for the lesser of two evils.
And how's your campaign going, Thomas?
The campaign seems to be going well, except the fundraising side of it. I will have the lowest of a successful campaign as far as funds raised when we are elected.
If people want to give you money or donate to your campaign or learn more about you, where can they go?
Well, they can visit my website at www.thomascramerforsenate.com. We do have a spot on there where they can donate. They can also send me an email through that site, and if they wish to get the address that they can send it to, which would be 15609 Omas, O-M-A-S Road, Van Cleve, Mississippi. And that's at the Thomas Cramer for Senate campaign. I am on Facebook. You will find additional information there. You will find some of my postings there with information on donations also. I'm also on FreedomWorks, Freedom Connection, and on LinkedIn. I can be found there. So there's plenty of avenues to get to me.